Greetings. Hey, it's Susie Juravich here. So I just did a video in the car, but I just didn't feel like I gave a lot of information. And also, I've been called by popular demand to do another Hurley report. So today we've got the Hurley report, and he is very much awake and very much alive. Last time he looked like he was in a little bit of a coma. Hurley's good, just kind of preening, taking care of his own body self. Anyway, so today has been a powerful day for the work that I do. So I want to get into specific details about some of the work that I do. My first call this morning, of course, I don't give away any identity of these people, but this was a person who called me about concerns with her way her body is. And so some of us are like, oh, I've got to lose weight, or I've got to do this or that. And so this was a real serious question about, like, how do I lose this weight? And what was interesting is for most people know that I channel the information. So, and I've known, we've worked on this before. And so today it was just a really different experience. So the information that came through on this body situation was that for the person to really bless the food that she is getting ready to eat, even if it's a big bowl of ice cream. Who likes ice cream? Okay. However, but to be in that feeling tone and that frequency and vibration, that whatever I put in, just blessing that food for all involved that were even if that ice cream, even if it's ice cream or cookies, that any blessing all beings that had any kind of a touch or vibration with that, or had anything to do with creating a bowl of ice cream, so that when we bless that food and raise and know that it is so, that the frequency that we pull in from this food that's getting ready to be consumed, that is the highest frequency in support of a healthy, vibrant, juicy body. So we worked on that, just kind of looking at the food, not judging the food. Of course, everybody knows I'm not into judging or belief systems, that we're into the current now, what is now. And also looking at the idea of really being more sovereign with the body. So as you're looking at the body and looking at the detoxification that each one of us does every day, whether it's through our skin or through other avenues within the body of detoxing, all these different energies that come in. Everything is frequency, everything is vibration. So you could say I'm eating an apple, or I'm eating vibe, I'm eating a frequency. So when we look at that frequency of whatever that we're putting into our mouth is the highest vibration to be in support of a healthy, vibrant, juicy body, that's a beautiful space to be in. So we really talked a lot about that. We also did some activation within her intestinal tract and also within her digestive tract. So just activating and illuminating some energy in that, and anything that was not smooth, or any kind of pockets where there's some things that are some residual hanging on in some of the pockets of the intestines, we actually did an activation there. Now again, this is if a person believes it is so. Now my co-creator does believe that it's possible. So we did an activation within the gut area. We also did an activation and release for ancestral lineage, anything related to holding on, gripping, protection, that sort of thing. So we did an instant ancestral kind of release, and so anything related to body. My second one I'd like to visit with is something, and this happens to all of us. So my second call today was sometimes we get triggered. Let's say and I'm all about empowerment. So this situation was a person was really holding space, great, with another human being, and then something triggered that person and they went into reactionary mode. You could also say it's an addictive mode, or you could say it's just a feeling a compulsion, or just this just this go-to thing, which is disempowering. So of course I honor all beings that are in that. Of course I do that. I get triggered, and I've got beautiful beings that support me. However, when we are disempowering ourselves and we go into this compulsion or this addictive nature, this is what I always do, and it's a fallback. It's really like an addiction type thing. From my frame of thinking, look at Hurley agrees. Anyway, but so we really talked about that. There's no judging this. There's no right or wrong. I see everybody is doing and being in the perfect place, perfect time. There's no mistakes here. These are opportunities to learn and grow more. So basically, with that trigger thing where she became disempowered, she was holding her space earlier in the day, and then she had a disempowering comment that she gave to another person. So with that being said, that is coming up for healing. Just like my friend this morning with body issues and about weight and things like that, that comes up for healing. Here we got it. We're going to look at it. We're going to look at it here and see it as a beautiful opportunity. It rises for healing, and boom, we kind of take a look at it. So with that, Something like that is for somebody that has those kind of triggered responses or reactionary modes. That is a beautiful opportunity to notice that, okay, I was reacting to another person, but how much in my life am I reacting to this or that in the same way? How is that showing up, and how is it repetitive? How is that loop or that pattern showing up all the time in my field? And that's like pretty amazing when you start looking at it, because you may say, well, that person did that to me, or he did me wrong, or she did me wrong, or Hurley did me wrong. Hurley never does me wrong. Anyway, or we could say, listen, it's not about the other person. It's like about me. It's about me, baby. It's about me, and me having something that's coming up, rising up to be looked at and to be healed. And so for me, when I say we've got something showing up to be healed, it's coming for to be healed. Okay, so the way I operate from my own personal body is I do healings pretty quick on me. I'm like, bam, it is done, and it is so. Now, for some folks, they need a little bit more time. They need to rehash it out. They got to tell a story. They got to write a song about it, and they do a play, and then we call that Shakespeare. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not Shakespeare, but it's like the Shakespearean. You know what I mean? So we got this story, drama, narrative. So anyway, I'm open to assisting people for instantaneous lift out of some programming and dissolving any loops or patterns, okay? So I'm all about that. So that's what happened on number 2. So the first one was about body, weight, body experience. The second one was about trigger point. You triggered me, baby, and I'm going to jump into that little silly, slippery slope. Third one was all about, now this is, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. This is a person who has identified me as her great-great-great-great-great-grandmother. I love it. Who knew? Look how I've aged so beautifully. Anyway, so she and I share space, and we are all about the miracle zone. So this person is my great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter, and she's also a beautiful co-creator and instantaneous manifestations on the miracles. And so that was a beautiful experience. So as I get to know more people, I get to tune in to their vibes. I can see for each one of the different beings that come into my field how we are supporting and loving each other, and how we're leaning in and saying, God, I just see the truth of who you are, this divine, beautiful soul encased in this beautiful body that you picked, and it's juicy. But here we are now. So these are 3 experiences I had today. Now I've got Hurley. Hurley's not in trouble. That nose is not in there because it's in trouble. He just likes to sleep that way. Anyway, I just see you, and whatever you're co-creating or whatever you're creating for your own self, is that you know with certainty that you were able in this moment now, Satori baby, or Sankapa baby, we're going to bring in that energy now, that you're able to co-create and create something most wonderful for you. And the whole thing is about just allowing it to be okay with receiving something good. Sometimes we like to hold on to things because we feel like we've got to process more and more and more. I'm all about, baby, send it out. Whew. So if you have an interest in working with me on whatever it is that's showing up in your life, I'm very, very concise. I'm very playful with my work. I bring a lot of joy and a lot of goofiness as well. I do a lot of heavy lifting. In some cases with some of the feeling tones that are coming in that are lifting up to be healed. So that's all I got. You have a most beautiful day. If you listen to this whole way, Hurley and I say thumbs up for just hanging out there with us. We love you. Hurley and I's licking the pillow right now. I don't even know what that's about. Have a beautiful day, and may you be blessed.